And I'm back with another video. Not that I was intending to make it for you again, but yeah, just when I have a bit of about it, suppose, and I'm a bit of a 3 a.m. talk, even though it's 24 minutes. Well, it's not right. I'm speaking to you. I love how I'm talking as if I'm literally on a fucking group call on Discord or something brilliant. No, I can't help but notice just how, well, I know I said previously that we're fucked, but I didn't exactly I was too exasperated or bored to even fucking continue what I was saying, and I just ended the video there. But personally, I'm just gonna lay out my thoughts here, because, well, why not? I genuinely think that people are fucked. And before someone says, "Oh, you're just spewing a bunch of negative shit, why not something positive?" Well, first of all, to counter that, I would actually argue that I would much rather be a negative person that complains about people all the time than someone who is optimistic and tries to see the best in people and constantly gets screwed. Right? Because okay, I'll admit that I stopped saying name a single person, right? Sure, there's plenty of there's maybe plenty of people, but how many of those next to people that are there may be there's plenty of people. Sure, don't get me wrong, there have been people who have been optimistic and haven't been betrayed, right? But you can't tell me that people you can just because you want to see the best of people doesn't mean you're gonna get that. I would much rather be a depressing, miserable guy who just looks for the worst in people. Don't get me wrong. Yes, I can acknowledge the good parts of people. Granted, I'm not gonna deny that they're not. They are. In fact, actually, I do all the time. I don't deny that people have goodness. But my problem is that alone is not enough. My problem is that, and I'm probably going to take this the wrong way and probably fucking try to debunk me with some sort of some modern pop psychology shit, right? I once tried explaining this to a former best friend. I don't even like the term best friend, but I once tried to explain to someone that people can be kind or to you, hurt you, whether intentionally or not, right? Then afterwards, the next time they meet you, they act as if everything is fine. Now, you could say, "Oh, well, that's obvious, they're just pretending." Now, one could say that, but I don't think they are. I think a lot of people a lot of people out there are actually very kind to you, even though they hurt you. Now you could say, "Oh, well, what if they forgot?" Okay, but you could still argue that until they've apologized and that let me ask you this: Would you accept it, right? If someone had just, I'm gonna say, dropped a bottle of, had just thrown a bunch of whiskey in your face, right? If someone had just thrown some whiskey in your face, right, and then talked to you like everything, not necessarily they're talking. Let's just put it this: they're talking to you nicely, even though previously they had just done you wrong or betrayed you. You wouldn't, in fact, you'd be annoyed with them, I shouldn't hope because hope is realistically a fool's errand. Some could say, "Oh, but hope has driven a lot of things." Sure, doesn't mean it's gonna, I could, okay, but let's be honest, you're better off hoping for a situation to change rather than people, because you can't change people, can you? You can't. If you think you can. Oh, I'm sorry to disappoint you, bud. It doesn't work. I have to make fun graphics in this rap's beautiful. I've only just noticed how good they are. I don't understand it. It's gone way better. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm running out of an SSD that I bought recently, but you have to admit the graphics are absolutely stunning in this. Well, to an extent, wow. But the way I see it is that, like, hope isn't going to help you do anything. If any hope, I would say that hope is something that you drive towards. Yes, it doesn't. Hope doesn't automatically fix anything. In fact, it doesn't. It just drive. It's the drive. It causes you. It's a motivation. It's a motivator, right? That's all it really is, right? But at the end of the day, hoping for people. Now, don't get me wrong. Some kids say, "Oh, well, humans have done a lot of things. They've invented things. They've made medicines and all that." Sure, doesn't that's not going to change my mind. Does it? Anybody can. Don't get anybody. And if they studied medicine, that's what they could do that. That's not my point. I don't care how many inventions that you could show me humans have made. You're not going to change my mind with that, because my point isn't that. My point is people are not taking accountability for every single action, because at the end of the day, we're told to take accountability for our actions and apologize when we do wrong, but somehow that's now a foreign concept. I don't understand it. I've been told this with regards to my family. Oh, there is genuine care there. That's not the point. That is not my point. I acknowledge there's genuine care there, but my point is it doesn't erase consequences. We are taught, aren't we, that our actions have consequences. So why aren't we owning up to them? There's no defense for it. Prove me wrong. There isn't a defense for this. There isn't. I'm sorry, but I am honestly tired of seeing people. I've even noticed this. Oh yeah, and another thing as well. Loyalty. Now, this is going to be a divider, right? I personally think that if you are okay with being friends with someone who has hurt your friend, you're not even a true friend at that point. And someone could say, "Oh, you're sounding like such a child." How am I sounding like a child then? Tell me how. How do I sound like a child for saying something that actually makes sense? Why would you be okay with something? Why would I be a child for that? How am I a child for saying something that is actually correct or valid? Well, both. Why would you want? Oh, but that's not my problem. Oh, whatever they do to my friend isn't my problem. Sure, but I'm sure you're not. But I could also argue that you're quick enough to support your friend during a tough time. For example, when someone in their family has just died, or when they're going through a financial crisis. But that's not your problem, is it? And actually, I could say the same thing for parents. Your child's problems aren't your problems. You make them your problems because they're your kid and you love them. So why is it so different with friends or anybody? It's simple. We only do things most people are not doing. Most people, I'm willing to bet, don't even have friendships. They have funships, right? There's no loyalty there. There's literally the most common bit of it. In fact, I wouldn't even call it loyalty. I would call it supportive. Sure, there's a lot of supportive people. That's not my point. Again, you can do all of those things, but if you can't be loyal, aka stick with someone when they need it, or when they need, if for example. I would actually argue I've got such high standards and such strict standards, perhaps, though that's a bit debatable sometimes, that I would be considered practically undateable, or even someone is not going to have any friends, right? And I do want to say, I will admit, I want to say, oh, that's tough shit, who cares? But a part of me can't, and I hate that, right? Very tough to escape. Well, not my problem. Wow. Okay, I did not even remotely consent to that happening. Thanks, game. But and also, this is a message to the men's rights advocates. You all want peace, which is fair enough. But my question is, what did you do to earn it? And now, before some misandrist goes, yeah, I know, isn't it insane? You finally understanding. I haven't I haven't even started with you. Right? You're just as poisonous. Because at the end of the day, you're saying that the majority of men, you're basically saying men are bastards because we benefit, right? But how are we assholes because we benefit? We didn't choose to. Oh, but who designed that system? Not fucking us. We didn't design that. You are blaming us for a problem that we didn't cause. In fact, I want to say we, but realistically, they and me. You're blaming men for something that they didn't do. Like, come on. Think. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Thinking isn't exactly a human's best fucking skill, is it? Or at least the majority of them. I will not even joke. I'm not even joking. When I say this, I was on the phone with my mother today, right? Earlier. And I basically told her that if it weren't for crime, the police wouldn't have a reason to exist. Do you know what she told me? She told me that I think too much. Yeah. She told me that I think too much. I'm not even joking with you. Apparently it's a... How am I thinking too much? If anything, if I'd rather think too much than be an idiot. And as I said before, I would rather be depressed and miserable than be an optimistic idiot. Because at least with us, don't get me wrong, we can be lonely, but at the end of the day, in fact, here's a counter who said that we don't talk to people. And it's funny, like, oh, you'll end up with no friends, nothing like that. Okay, you say that like it's a bad thing. You say it like it's a bad thing. How on earth did having relationships become something to brag about? How? It's nothing to brag about at all. Sure, you know, I have someone who loves you. But that can change at any point. Right? And plus, you do realize that love requires vulnerability, aka the ability, you know, the willingness to put yourself at risk of being betrayed. Like, not to mention, love isn't even reliable. Come on, everybody knows it. Come on, we have a bit of intelligence to understand that love alone is not enough to sustain a relationship. Come on. Loyalty as well is what you know, into alignment with values, beliefs, right? That kind of thing. But I'll bet you, right, the majority of relationships last because we tolerated each other's bullshit. That is one of the reasons, right? Like that's and I'm also tired of this little people are just chasing validation. How do you know that? Did you just take that from a popular psychologist's fucking book? Or did you listen to some fucking, I don't know, Reddit, or did you just listen to some fucking intellectually arrogant twat on the fucking Reddit or X? Because I'm willing to bet that you did, or anyone who has said that has done that. It's absolutely beautiful, it is. It's so obvious what people are doing, perhaps, yet everybody else, or so many people, or most, or a small, well, I don't know, are somehow misinterpreting it too fucking badly. I'm probably gonna sound naive here, but I know what I'm seeing, right? I mean, at least I think, anyway. I don't think that anyone... I don't think that most people are pretending. And I don't know where this narrative came from. Where did it come from? Prove to me that people are pretending. Prove it. You probably can't. Like... And to be honest, and if you say, oh, I get what you mean, yes. Granted, you get what I mean. But my question is, will you get what I mean for a long time after this? How do you know for a fact that you're not gonna reset you, but that you're not gonna, how do you know that by the end of this video, if you continue watching, which fair play to you if you have. I mean, fair play to you if you are. But
it's weird, right?
Like, how do I know that anybody can say they agree with me and understand me, but my question is for how long? That's my question is. You can say it, you can agree with me in the moment, but you can say you can go back to your previous stance. Like, you can go back to your previous stance in about maybe a day or two. like as if you never even took it. I don't know. It's fucking ridiculous. It's weird. I don't understand it. Oh my! It's fucking ridiculous. Oh, like this is kind of nice though. Just recording myself talking about just shit. It's nice. Because I don't know. I used to have a. Please tell me I've been. I hope I've been fucking recording with. Like, thank God I didn't. I thought I was recording with my mic off because if I had been, that would have been. Oh, I'm not even gonna get started on how annoying that would be. But I used to have. I'm not even actually gonna go into it. But I used to have a channel, and I used to. I don't know. I wasn't the same as I am now. In fact, by far the same. That's like I'm not as. And I don't mean to get all. I don't know. If you like this stuff, then if you want to subscribe, that's up to you. I'm not going to tell you to. Again, this channel is more or less just an invitation to what I think, and I upload these videos on here for me too. Because at the end of the day, I don't know. I don't know. I want to be I want to be able to watch my own videos rather than just watch everybody else's. Because at the end of the day, I mean, what's wrong with creating videos for yourself on here and then just treating this as a I don't know. I mean, if you like the video, go ahead. I don't expect you to. In fact, I'm gonna expect you to dislike it. Oh, I don't know, but I don't know if you're good. I don't know if you're gonna like it or not. If you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. So shit. If you whatever. And also, if you want to, if you have any sort of idea for a video you would like me to make, I'm open to it. Doesn't mean to do it unless I think it's good. I need to, and it's funny I say that because I'm gonna need to actually stick to my guns there. YouTube, do not put me on age restriction just because I said the word stick to my guns. Please don't. Yeah. I guess you could say, there's me trying to find fucking drunk. I guess you could say that was a very fire. I guess you could say that was so fire. Fucking hell. Well, that I guess you could say that.
Good year for my brother's
Well, yeah, I can't exactly make a joke out of that, can I? Yep.
I've seen some bad.
Bear in mind, if don't mind me doing this, it's just I just do it for some reason. I don't know. I don't know. I have a weird thing for it. But yeah. By the way, if you want to know how I'm recording this, I'm just using the NVIDIA record panel, whatever you call it, and that's how I record the videos, and I'm using an RTX 4050. Yeah, I do my stuff on the laptop. So.
Great.
Someone's there. Nice try. I won't like having to make these videos as they are like without editing is sort of easier for me. I have to admit that. I will admit. Though I do like making. I do like. I gotta be honest. I think the problem with a lot of YouTubers, I would say, or editors, is the fact that they make things so like they add multiple layers when there's no need for. Like I think I think what I would call it is over editing. Like they add these like whenever I edit a video and like right, why can't I just add everything on a simple track unless there's an absolute like if I need to put an overlay on top over an overlay, fair enough. But what is the point of putting an overlay like a completely like if an overlay isn't needed for on top of the other overlay, why do you need it on another track, another video track? I don't get it. Just simplify it. Or are you just trying to make yourself look good? Or go, yeah, look at me. I'm can you just stop it? I don't know if it's narcissism or. I would go as far as to call it competence narcissism or editorial narcissism. Or, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Why add something where it isn't needed? Or why use something that isn't needed? Or you could just keep the overlay that doesn't need to be on top of another overlay on the exact same track. I don't get it. What are you trying to prove? That you're a complex, like a fucking a fucking skilled editor who can edit complex tracks or make things so complex because it looks good. Why do you do it? I don't get it. I would say stop, but I can't tell you what to do, can I? Obviously. But I think it's fucking stupid. Or at least a bit weird. But, yeah, that is the end of me talking for now. Have a good night or morning, whatever time you fucking watch this. Have a good one. I'm out.